do actions that continue the spread of the virus, it's affecting all of us.
Well,
And it's, we're not choosing to go and participate, but we can still be personally affected. That's where I agree with the medical experts. Let's be safe, let's make it a little hard for a while, maybe get over it.
I understand, but I did think that when I saw people, I know there were people from the lake that weren't masked
oh,
up and,
yeah.
you know,
Marvin, how many do you estimate would be in attendance for that 2 day event?
I don't know, Dave, it'd be way down. It would not be what it normally is, because
1,000?
Well, but then if Hillsboro's not having theirs, how many more people are gonna come to ours?
I think it'll be the opposite, I really do, because people that come from like Kansas City, they come because they can hit them both, it's worth the drive, and I don't think they're gonna make that drive just for the one show. And I could be wrong, I don't have a crystal ball,
So
you know?
why don't we postpone it, maybe have a spring event if the virus dies down? You know, we postponed the street dance, and those people would be more spread out than what the park people would be.
Yeah, the thing is, we decided not to do the fall park at the market because it's too close to Art in the Park and then Jingle and Mingle, and I'm not sure if spring would be too, I don't know, Ruth.
I
have to
just
think
can't go
about it.
against Dr. Hodson's recommendation.
I understand all that, I'm frustrated by the conflicting information we're getting, and there's just a lot of stuff to think about, and
That's true, but we have to rely on Dr. Hodson as a medical person, and I have to back him 100%.
And be there.
Yes.
If this is a 2 day event, I'm assuming that the vendors would leave all of their works in the park.
a lot of them are just gonna do one day, some of them will do 2 days. And, yeah, they left their stuff before overnight from Friday to Saturday. And we, had it all patrolled and everything, so there's a way of taking care of that, but.
Well, I'm just curious as what the city's responsibility would be if somebody came in and it's our park and they lost some of their.
We've never had that problem, we've had Boy Scout troop down there the whole time, patrolling all night, camping out all
Most of
night.
them come on Friday night anyway.
Okay.
And they were up for the 2 day because they said, well, we'd actually split into 2 and we'd have a fresh group, and so they had thought that through, but
Do you know what the cost of your part-time help would be?
probably about the $200 I'm gonna save by not giving away gift certificates this year. Cause I'd have her down there a little bit on Thursday, and then it's a long, well, it's not as long a day on Friday, but then it's a long day Saturday, and then Sunday. So it's,
Okay. Larry, you got anything you wanna add?
Well, I just know I'm gonna vote. I don't have that. I've had a lot of instruction at home.
I'm just,
You're a good husband.
the thing that I'm concerned with is where are these people coming from? That's gonna come, are they coming from a high impact area that the COVID is?
Even the vendors, you don't know who the people who will come, yeah, you're not gonna know where they're from, doesn't matter.
What was the original, what's the date?
19th and 20th of September.
About a month away.
Yep. What's your opinion, Margot, about putting it back?
What, postponing it? I don't know, I'd
I
have
mean,
to,
how big of an issue is that? Is that a
well, you'd have to study this pretty hard of where these other places are, they're having them,
Yeah,
and avoid that. I don't know. The other thing, you know, and stuff like, and I don't know what they're doing, there's always like K-State football and stuff that we have. I mean, I don't know.
Who really knows about that?
Yeah, I know, that's why, there's a lot of questions, not too many answers. So,
Cause I know, isn't it generally a weekend that the high school has a volleyball tournament here?
yeah, but they
as well?
don't this time,
They don't?
no.
what's your poison?
Well, I'm against it.
No action. Do we need to take action?
Do we
We
need?
do need an action to cancel this event,
Okay.
because we can't cancel it on our own authority. The application is to move forward. She believes she's taken the reasonable steps. At your workstation, I provided you the latest COVID information on, that we can get our hands on. You know, the dashboard, 49 positive cases. We count 10 probable cases locally. There's 8 active, 902 tested, 843 negative. In Marion County, the confirmed COVID cases is 0.4% of the population. 0.4%. The survivability in our county is 97.96. When you look at the state of Kansas, which the current infection rate is 31,187 cases, 1.1% of the population. The survival rate on the statewide is 98.78, and as a nation, the infection rate is 1.6% of the population, and a survival rate of 96.79. Not minimizing human life in any way. But we need to make sure that the spirit of fear is not making decisions for us.
I don't think you can compare fear with safety.
I'm afraid of dying. Seriously, I'm talking about 3 out of 100, 97%. I don't wanna go in those odds.
Well,
Yeah, I understand.
And that's just,
It's each of our personal worldview.
right.
If I die tomorrow, I'm in a better place, so.
at the end of June, we had like 7 cases in the county, and now we're up to like 59. So, that shows you it's spreading pretty fast, regardless of what percent it is. And my personal opinion is, you don't know what's gonna happen. You can have this virus and be over in 2 weeks, but what's the long-term effect? How's it gonna affect you? And I'm not willing to find out.
I understand, and that's why you as a governing body make those decisions.
Okay.
We have a responsibility to give you all of the information.
And I think it's our duty to try to protect our citizens,
We got a motion?
whether they like it or not.
I'll make a motion to cancel, reluctantly cancel Art and Club.
I second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to cancel Art in the Park reluctantly, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Sorry, Marlo.
That's all right, just don't ask me for a funnel cake, man.
Fair trade.
Just think, Margaret, you'll have the weekend off.
Well,
I mean, there's
Go to
always
the
a
county
plus
lake.
side.
Thank you. To be honest with you, I just soon, say it was your decision. So,
Well,
that's fine,
yeah, if we
Margaret.
can take it off your shoulders, that makes us feel a little bit better. We all are very reluctant about it.
yeah,
Sometimes it might be best to err on the side of caution.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that, absolutely.
Number 11, discussion regarding the splash pad. I will tell you that last year when I was, during the summertime, when I was working the park, when I was in the park, and Margot can attest to this, we have a horrible time. Dan and I think it's just as bad right now, of the kids, even with parents sitting there, going down and getting in the fountains. And the fountains are, I mean, they get a lot of algae in them, and we use a lot of strong chemicals in them, but I just think if we, if we could have a splash pad in Central Park for those kids to run through, I think it would be a good thing for them. And I can guarantee you, if I'd have had a splash pad down there last year, I'd have been running through it. Some of the times. And, we're having some real issues with the fountain, but I don't, we've had a lot of emails, I think you've all seen them, or you've got them in front of you right now in regards to keeping that fountain like it is, but we need to put some money into it. So I would like to know the council's feelings about not necessarily doing anything with the fountain, but putting a splash pad down there for the kids.
Is this a price proposal?
Huh? No, I thought about this last year, and I thought I'd wanna bring it up, and what I think we could do is this community is very good about donating to something like this, and I think this is a project that we can, I know somebody that would probably head it up and, do some fundraising to do it, where the city would just be, responsible for installing it.
So you're talking about putting it someplace other than keeping the fountain, and see
Yeah.
if we can raise money for the fountain, but putting the splash pad someplace else?
Yes,
Okay,
but
that's two different
we
things.
also, I think, need to find out what it's gonna cost to fix that fountain, the way it needs to be fixed, cause it's breaking down about once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Is there a maintenance schedule on that?
It's just, it's old.
Well, I went down and looked at it today and I was really appalled by it.
Yeah,
The
it's
leaves
just,
were up in the tubs.
it's
You
just so
know, it just
old.
hasn't
it's
been
not even-
maintained very good at all.
Marty
Does he
can
know
probably,
how? Does he know how?
We accidentally tapped into something though.
Thank you
I
for
know you
helping
guys
me.
all got the email. I don't know how many folks there are, but I didn't know there were hundreds that were included on these emails. And they are
They're
very
upset.
loyal people, they love the community, and if it came to asking for help, I think we get a lot of help from that group alone.
I think you're
Or
right.
other people might chip in. But old fountains are everywhere. I mean, there's fountains around the world that are 1,000 years old, and they can be maintained, and I know it takes money. The only thing about the splash pad, I don't like the timing. I think the splash pad's a great idea, but with our uncertainties with the budget and finances and everything, the timing could be different.
Well, that's why I said I would like to do fundraising. Not involve the city in, we did that in the park with all the playground equipment. It didn't cost the city a penny for that playground equipment. They did, the girls in the office actually did all of the fundraising for that. And they bought everything with the amount of money that they raised. And this ain't something that's gonna be done overnight, it's probably gonna be next summer, maybe late next summer, before we would even consider, putting a splash pad in. All I wanna know is if the council would be, acceptable to letting us put it somewhere in the park. Now, I know we got Chingawassa that wants to use almost all the park, but Margot, or you or Marty, even wanna have any idea where a small pad could go? How about in front of the old fountain?
The old fountain has been there since 1890.
That would run the looks.
Yeah, I'm not crowding that in either. And I did a little research on a splash pad, and it says a splash pad with 16 nozzles can use up to 15 to 25 gallons per minute. Can you imagine how much water we would have to pump through that? And it would have to be a fresh pump, it couldn't be recycled because of the bacteria.
I'd like to say one thing. I didn't all get some emails, but I got the calls from people out of town. Cause they knew me, and they wanna make sure that memorial stays there, cause that is a memorial, that's like a shrine. But, I'm not, if you go down below there, where that stage is, why'd you put it there? If you want a spot,
I think we had one that I read that, you know, they talked about if we, you know, it would be a good idea to put it close to the fountain because you've already got the water and everything right there.
it don't take much to run line.
There's a lot of federal regulations that goes along with this. One of them is it has to be within 200 feet of a bathroom
A little bathroom,
or restroom.
200 feet away from it.
Within 200 feet. You have to have a restroom within 200 feet.
That's
And it
interesting.
says if there's not a restroom there, then you need to plan on building one.
Do they say why, Ruth?
No, they didn't say why.
That's a weird one.
They don't like kids being in the fountain.
Well, that's
I
why
know
they,
why.
that's why they suggested that you go to fresh water instead of recycled. It's because of kids that have diapers and stuff like that, because it just spreads bacteria.
Well, I wouldn't agree to recycle water. I mean, that's too much of a, that's our problem now with both of our fountains, right now, because it's recycled water, and they're getting algae in them like crazy.
What about thinking about putting it up by the one that's up on the hill? At the swimming pool. There is a small one up there that has like 8 spigots in it. And there's room on the south of that one where we can extend it and make a larger one and use the water that is treated out of the swimming pool.
Well, that's not what keeps kids out of the fountain. The fountains and the whole idea, in my opinion, of this was the fountains in the park, the kids wouldn't be getting in them to cool off, they were using splash pads instead. So that wouldn't eliminate that problem. And that was just my thoughts. If we had them there, then they could play in those and cool off, and they wouldn't have to be getting into the fountains. The fountains are just, I was putting stuff in the fountains, trying to get that algae down, and I wouldn't get in it. Nobody, I mean, if,
Well, the fountains needs a serious cleaning right now. And,
well, they were clean before they even started,
But
right, Marty?
do we do maintenance on that every month or every 2 weeks or what?
Every day,
On the fountain?
That's what
every
I thought.
day,
There's somebody down there every day with both the
Eh,
fountains.
every day.
Well, the old one that was put there in 1894 looks great, but it's a memorial fountain that looks like crap.
Well, part is because of the pump quit, but then it really went bad quick. But both of those, every day.
Well, in my opinion, we need to try to maintain the memorial fountain.
Well, we're gonna have to fix the motor and, I don't know what all first,
Well,
so.
these people that sent the emails seem willing to donate money to help with the expense of it, to be able to keep it. So
Yep.
I don't know that we need to be responsible for that. Why don't we turn it back on them and tell them to start the GoFundMe page for it?
Do we really wanna ask them people for money?
Yes,
Yes, why not?
yeah.
Why not? Continued
Well,
maintenance.
like, David, you say you like to see it done with raise money, what, is it gonna be an organization or individuals, or who has that?
Well, it would be just probably, you know, yeah, it would be much like what the girls in the city office did that one time, you know? They just got together as a group, and they started coming up with ideas on how to raise money for all that. I know there was like a circus that came through town one time, and they were selling tickets to the circus, you know, and they got a percentage of that, and that helped raise money, and then of course donations and, but, you know, we could probably do cash donations, possibly Mac would, you know, help us with that, cause they're a 501c3, and you could, you know,
They would accept the money, I don't know if they would wanna spearhead that.
oh no, they could come straight in, they could bring it straight into the city. For, you know, fund wise, but, I mean, it was just a thought. If we could do it, I mean, first of all, we gotta get some prices, we don't even have any idea how much we're talking about. And, you know, Ruth brought up the point about the water, you know, if it uses 1,000 gallons a day or 2,000 gallons a
It
day,
uses
you're
more
talking
than
$5
that.
to $10 a day for the operation of it, so. Did you do any looking at it, Margot? at all?
I ain't have time, no,
Okay,
I didn't. Nope, not yet.
Let's just take the 25 gallons per minute. And if we run it 6 hours a day,
Pam Byer was,
that's 9,000 gallons we'd be putting through that splash pad.
Pam Byer was suggesting a splash pad back when she was on the rec board.
That was 2017, she took it to the city council in August. Roger, what does it cost to make
It
the
would be
water?
$45.45.
I'm sorry, say that.
$45.45. It would be the cost of the water that you just, retail
Okay.
price.
Oh,
You're pretty quick.
well, let's,
Doesn't matter, 505, 1,000.
Okay,
well, I would suggest that we table this and get some more information and come back later on.
Okay, we
for
need
cost
to
wise.
talk about whether or not we're talking about the current memorial fountain or the splash pad, because we're kind of mixing the two.
We're talking
and
about
it's-
just a splash pad,
Okay,
just to put a splash pad somewhere in Central Park.
No threat to the fountain.
No. No.
but Marty, will you be pursuing repairing the fountain?
Yes.
And I'd be willing to come down and help clean that thing up, but it's terrible. A little bit of
Every
vinegar
day?
water.
Will you come every day?
I would, if that's what it takes.
Knock her up, Marvin.
But there's cleaners like vinegar that could take off that lime and stuff off the lights and get rid of that stuff, the scale. And I'd be willing to come down and help.
Thank you.
Okay, number 12, department and staff reports. Marty, you have anything to,
Nothing bad.
any Margot,
I don't think so.
Quentin,
Nope,
Randy,
nothing further.
Susan,
no, sir.
Tiffany, Roger?
No, we continue to work, with our grant administrator on the Spark, grant. And I've met with representatives from both of the meal programs, nonprofits, food bank and senior center. We're moving forward with that, probably 2 weeks before we're ready to bring,
It'll be about that.
Right.
getting applications, everything finalized in comparisons to the federal funds they've received already.
I have a quick question. Have we issued any citations or warnings on the mask ordinance?
We've given warnings, like verbal warnings, and then offered masks or the option to leave whatever establishment they're at.
There's no citation?
No,
Okay. I heard we did.
no. Yeah, I heard that too, and no, we,
I guess you
Thank
would
you.
know.
Yep.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Wait, public forum now? We doing
Oh,
public forum?
I'm sorry, I did forget that. Anybody wish to speak in the public forum to the council?
I would just like to say thank you to especially, Chief of Police Jeffries over there and the council people that have helped work on the property situation. You know, our neighbors greatly appreciate it. Just wanted to say thank you. I know I can kind of be a pain in the butt to work with, so sorry about that, but we do appreciate you all.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
that
thank you.
comment. The wheels of justice turn slowly sometimes. Bear with it. Anyone else? Motion to adjourn,
I moved to adjourn.
we missed you last week.
Did we?
Yeah. I'll
My
second,
anniversary.
I'll second